What's happening, Jay?
Just people getting in trouble for killing grandma.
Well, I just got to say this. There's one thing that could save grandma. Nominating a woman to head up the Small Business Administration. I just need to play that clip one more time. Holy shit.
President Biden doing for my small business? First and foremost, he nominated a woman to lead the Small Business Administration who formerly worked there.
I mean, shit. There's nothing better. You can't make this shit up.
It's like you're at the doctor's office and they'd be like, look, first and foremost, the person who operated on your dead dad was a woman.
Jesus, it's so dark. It's like, it's just it's breaking the news that you have a terminal illness and them saying, but it's okay. We hired a woman to operate on you. That's great.
It's like their shield. They like to use that shit like their shield, man.
That's so bad. It's hilarious. Like the second or third time that she's done that too.
Oh, yeah, with the Treasury. It's like, the economy is kind of doing bad. What's going on? Well, we have a woman running the Treasury, so
it's all good. It's all good. It's everything is just fine and dandy. And you know what? Maybe we should have nominated a woman to be the New York governor because clearly Andrew Cuomo isn't doing a great job, especially in the last week. Maybe that's because he hired a woman to be his secretary. I'm kidding. It has nothing to do with the fact that she's a woman. So for those of you who are certainly catching up to everything that's happened within the last week, or certainly it's happened on our Patreon channel, which we'll tell you a little bit more about. Andrew Cuomo, the governor of New York, his chickens have come home to roost. Basically in the last week, he's had calls for him to apologize for fudging the numbers on the nursing home death statistics from COVID-19 in his state. Even some calling him to resign. Now, a couple of things I want to point out. On Monday, Fox Business reported that, actually I want to say Tuesday, that McKinsey and Company, the global consulting firm accused of having a role in the opioid crisis, helped New York's health department author a report that was used to absolve Governor Andrew Cuomo of blame in the nursing home scandal. And that report was from July 6th of last year, in which the New York State Health Department of Health said Cuomo's controversial March 25th mandate ordering nursing homes to accept recovering COVID-19 patients was not directly responsible for a surge in nursing deaths. It blamed the surge on some 37,500 nursing home staffers throughout the state. So think about that for a second. He said he creates an order on March 25th to send patients who are recovering from COVID-19 to nursing homes. And an authored report from McKinsey and Company says, oh, it actually wasn't that. It's all these fucking nurses and they all gotta go. So a number of things have happened in the fallout from it. First of all, Democrats have proposed stripping Cuomo of his emergency powers. Democrats, particularly within his own state. Yes. One of which is Assemblyman Ron Kim and then State Senator Alessandra Biaggi. They're soliciting support of a bill to repeal the emergency legislative abilities granted to Cuomo last spring in an effort to fight the pandemic. And the proposed legislation follows immediately the growing controversy over his administration's reporting of nursing home deaths. But this is where the story gets even spicier. Okay, today, Wednesday, Assemblyman Ron Kim, who I just mentioned before, who's soliciting support for stripping Cuomo of his emergency powers, told CNN that he received a phone call from Cuomo last week. And this is kind of a side note, as he was bathing his children at his home. I don't know why CNN included that, because it just said I was watching my kids' dirty fucking asses, the chock-filled shitty asses when this motherfucking piece of shit Governor Andrew Cuomo gave me a call. I know Ron Kim probably doesn't speak like that. He's also Asian, so he probably doesn't speak like that, doubly so. But he says,
do the shitty Rice accent. Do it.
The shitty New York accent. I'll read the quote.
The shitty Rice accent from South Park.
Oh, shitty walk. Dude, that's gonna get us both canceled, man. I can't.
I know. We'll save that for the premium episode.
Yeah, save that for the premium. Anyways, this is what Ron Kim told CNN. He said, "Quote: Governor Cuomo called me directly on Thursday to threaten my career if I did not cover up for Melissa DeRosa. Melissa DeRosa is the secretary for Cuomo who apologized to Democratic lawmakers for covering up all the nursing home deaths." And he goes on, quote, and what she said, he tried to pressure me to issue a statement, and it was a very traumatizing experience. And then he goes on to say that that Cuomo proceeded to tell him that we're in this business together and we don't cross certain lines. And he said I hadn't seen his wrath and that he can destroy me. So we got a real TJ Ducklow over here, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
I love how we don't even have TJ Ducklow on the agenda yet, because that story just came in. That story just came and went so quickly. Guy left for basically intimidating a Politico reporter, and here we go. Andrew Cuomo basically pulling a TJ Ducklow or Duck High, as Wonder Kimmy says. But yeah, a couple of other things. Just want to point this out. First of all, CNN reinstated its ban on Chris Cuomo covering his brother. Now you all remember that over the course of the last year, Chris Cuomo had been trying to stick a giant Q-tip up Governor Cuomo's anus. And I would say, Jay, you probably have said it that I probably can't say it as good as you or as well as you or as I should say as eloquently as you, but you say that Chris is literally trying to suck his brother's dick. Is that what it is?
That is literally what it is. That's what it was. It was actual incest that was playing. Yes, Nate, thank you. Thank you for bringing it up. It was actual incest that they would play live on air on CNN in order to try and cover the shit job that Andrew Cuomo was doing.
Yeah.
And it was so obvious. They wanted to butter him up, make him look more than what he was. And then you had all of these journalists stand in line and actually do that for him as well throughout the whole fucking pandemic.
Right.
So much so that it gave him fucking confidence to write a book in the middle of the pandemic, how to handle the pandemic.
That's
then he won an Emmy for the way he was handling it with journalists.
It's just fucking beautiful. It is fucking beautiful.
All of it laying into it.
To add, obviously essentially 100% to the story.
Essentially.
To complete the story, this is what's great. The Times Union reports that the FBI and U.S. Attorney's Office in Brooklyn have launched an investigation that is examining, at least in part, the actions of Governor Cuomo's coronavirus task force and its handling of nursing homes and other long-term care facilities during the pandemic. It's in the Eastern District of New York, not Southern District of New York. That's the office that always goes after Trump. But they're currently in the opening early stages. And I just got to say, how fucking wow would that be if Andrew Cuomo ends up getting indicted for this and Trump just gets away scot-free
twice
for basically everything that's ever happened.
And that would be absolutely amazing. It would be poetic justice, seriously. And the fact that more people haven't been calling for him to get impeached or thrown in jail or any of that, as we see more of this come into light, is shocking to me. Because one little thing that Trump would do would be calling for impeachment. If this stuff came out, oh my God, people would be fucking their heads would be melting live on air, talking about wanting to impeach Trump and get him thrown in jail.
Yeah,
and we're not seeing that from anywhere. We see one. We see one retweet here, one retweet there. We don't see any reports coming out on anything. And the fact that they allowed Cuomo to interview his brother and lifted the ban on that shit.
Yeah,
it's mind-boggling, and CNN needs to be held accountable for that type of shit.
Yeah.
Most journalism needs to be held accountable for the shit that they push through.
What's obviously wild is that we knew about this all summer last year. I think it was initially reported. I think the Daily Caller initially picked it up, or at least that's the first time I saw it, and then it sort of like caught a blaze then.
But that's the thing. Also, like Steezy always says, Red Steezy on Twitter, he always says that CNN, MSNBC, and stuff like that, they will not report on important stories like these for the longest time until like Daily Caller or some right wing place reports on it, and then you have Brian Stelter coming out and be like, right wing media is saying, right wing media is pushing,
Republicans pounce.
Yeah, and that's how they fucking twist it and they play it. And them trying to say that this isn't covering or trying to manipulate the way a story is being told is utter bullshit. It's horseshit. They're not doing it unbiasedly.
Yeah, I mean, like the fact that Cuomo's coming out here telling an assemblyman, and this is the time where I say the name of the episode in the episode: protect your neck. This is the time where like Andrew Cuomo, he really shows his like how much of a thug he really is. I mean, look, if you want to like contrast him to Trump, which many people have tried to do, like Trump doesn't threaten to destroy. What he does is like, hey, maybe you could just do me a little favor. I know that Trump doesn't speak like that, but he sounds like, hey, maybe you could do me a little favor. Just find me some votes here in Georgia, like that kind of. It's really funny. Whereas Andrew Cuomo would be like, if you don't fucking do what I tell you to do, I'm gonna fucking kill you, your mother, your father, everyone you've ever loved, everyone you've ever made eye contact with. I'm gonna fucking kill him. I'm gonna burn your house down, and I'm gonna piss on the ashes.
He's a cliche. He's a fucking cliche. That's what he is. He's a fucking brother of Frito cliche.
Yeah.